Hey, it's Sandy with Quilted Treasures and More. And some of you may be thinking, wow, she's on early today. I am on early. I am trying a few things out as far as maybe changing up the time a little bit, trying to just make sure that everything is up and running. And I got to get my picture back here. Okay, I think we're good to go. Well, happy weekend, happy Sunday for those of you in the New Orleans and Mobile area and some of the other areas throughout the South. I know there's a lot of other towns that have picked up Mardi Gras season. Happy Mardi Gras. So that will be wrapping up on Tuesday here in the Mobile area with all the parades and New Orleans as well. So all the parades and everything will be finishing up and then things will kind of quiet back down for a little bit until the next um, event that comes around for us. And I was trying to think, I don't know that we really have a St. Patrick's Day deal. I could be very wrong. I don't venture to the parades and whatnot very much. So I I'm one of those that just kind of hang at the house and watch from television if possible. Oh, well, like I said, I hope you're having a good weekend and a good Sunday. Just trying out some different times. So today I was like, oh, I'm going to jump on early and see how this may work out. Now, the only thing is right now, until we go through time change, um, I have the sun that is blasting through the window behind me. I have never had to deal with that before at nighttime. So so I am kind of like, oh, well, I don't know. I had multiple setup hiccups while ago, so if there were a blooper reel, it would definitely be on the interesting side. So I'm going to spin this around. I have what all you can see is just something that's covered in diamond shapes, and they're gray. Well, this is a Mardi Gras themed door hanger. And you may be thinking, well, Sandy, Mardi Gras is basically almost wrapped up. It is. This is one that I had wanted to do earlier, and it's one of those things where other things took precedence, and I did not get to do this design. Now, I thought this was a cool design, and so I really wanted to do it, but I thought, you know what? It's not gonna it's not gonna really go anywhere this year, but I'm gonna go ahead and paint it since we are right here in the height of Mardi Gras. I'm going to go ahead and paint it. And so I had started working on it. As you can see, I got the checkerboard going with it. And then things just kind of happened and I had to stop working on it. So I was like, you know what? If I finish it up today, who knows? It may end up on my door for Mardi Gras because I don't have anything on my door for Mardi Gras. So we'll start with the mask. I know it's upside down. Let me turn it around this way. Now you can probably see the gray through it. That's okay. We're going to work on that. Sometimes it takes a few coats to cover it. Sometimes you have to mix a little white in. So it just depends on, what's going on as to how this starts. So what I'm going to do now is there are beads that actually go around, and I'm just going to start painting the beads. So I've got every third one will be yellow. So I'm just going to run down through here real quick and color these yellow. Oh no, I did not skip enough on that one. That's okay. It's all right. If you have thrown Mardi Gras beads or caught Mardi Gras beads at any point in time, you will find out somewhere there will be a bead that doesn't quite follow the pattern. Whether it was in the making of the beads and the length just happened to lend it to be kind of off, or maybe somebody had to shorten it. Sometimes in the process of manufacturing, the beads will end up, I don't want to say breaking, but they'll come loose. And even though they don't come off the strand, you still have to fix the strand. Now, the question is, did I mess myself up? No, I did not. Great, wonderful. Woohoo! All right, so now I do not think, let me check my little design down here. No, it does not have, uh, hmm. It does not have yellow per se, but, hmm. I'm thinking and looking. All right, we're going to go back and start with our mask up here at the top. See how far we get with it. Now, there's lots of things that can be done with the mask. You can add polka dots. You can add the diamond shapes. I could just incorporate the diamond shape that is showing through in the mask. I could also add a little white and go over it to help cover up the gray. Also may be the case in some of my beads. Some of my beads it won't show up because it's on the edges. Others of my beads, it goes right through. Now, I used a stencil to do the diamond shapes, and so it's going to be kind of hard. It would have been hard to not stencil in the area where all my designs were, the beads, the mask, because once you get to working with a stencil, it's hard to partially stencil, if that makes sense. All right, so I'm going to grab some white. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a little bit of a run over. Oh, y'all know what? I did white. I should have done buttermilk. That would have been a better choice. White covers some, but I've discovered that buttermilk does a wonderful job of covering darker colors. I'm just going to put some buttermilk beside it. We'll just go over it with a little buttermilk. Not like actual buttermilk, the color buttermilk. In case you were wondering, wait a minute. No, not real buttermilk. The color buttermilk. I have used buttermilk several times to cover up darker colors, and it's worked out very, very well. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just working my way around my little, I don't know, I know what the name of it is, but I have trouble saying the name. Uh, so I'm not going to say the name. It's like, I'll take a stab at it. Fleur de lis, I believe is what they call it. I am not good at some of the pronunciations of the different French or even Italian sayings for some things, not Mardi Gras related. I know I've been talking about Mardi Gras, but not Mardi Gras related. So y'all get to watch a do-over. I don't have to paint the whole thing again, but sometimes it helps just to go ahead, do the whole thing, and then you know it's nice and even as far as the coating goes. So y'all get to watch a do-over because I really did not, and it happens from time to time. You know, you get started on a project and you're like, oh, I really should have, and then you start over. So now I can go ahead and tell you that the ones that I'm going to do green, I'm going to have to do the same thing for. So what I may do is just go ahead and put this buttermilk color on all of the beads because I don't want to have to come back later on. If I go ahead and do it now and get it over with, it'll be done. It's just a little bit there, but we'll go ahead and take care of it. So this is the process that we go through sometimes when we're doing things for the first time. Just because you sit down to a project doesn't mean that all the details are automatically worked out. You may have an idea in your head, but then when you get to working on it, you're like, you know what, this really isn't working. And even though that is a yellow color that I would most of the time say cover, sometimes you run into colors that don't cover very well. So like I said, I like using the buttermilk because I like the way it will cover. White will cover, but you have to use multiple coats. And so when I discovered that buttermilk would cover things pretty well, I was like, oh, well, we'll just start using the buttermilk to cover dark colors when we have them in the background. And then I can go over it with white or whatever other color I need to go over it with. Like I said, I know the green. I would have had to go over the green because I know it will have some issues with the gray showing through. So I'll just go ahead and work on my beads that I know that are going to be green. I I don't know. The purple may cover okay, but we'll just go ahead and while we're doing, we shall do them all, and that way we'll know, hey, I don't have to come back and do this redo option again. So one more time with a little buttermilk on the mask. I actually am thinking about putting glitter on the mask. Now, for those of you who are like, glitter, it's okay. It's not loose glitter. I actually have it's a paint that has glitter in it. So about the only time I ever see glitter from it is when I'm rinsing out the brush, and then glitter gets all over me. Well, at least by doing the buttermilk on the beads, you can go ahead and see what it's going to be looking like. Projects I have been working on this week. I need to give y'all an update, don't I? Of course, last Sunday I worked on the journal and it is finished. I had a lot of fun with it. That was pretty neat. I've never painted anything like that before, so that was kind of cool. I enjoyed doing that. I may do some more in the future. I have some door hangers that I did last week that I will be posting pictures of in the near future. I always try to wait until they're delivered before I post pictures. That way the person who purchased the door hanger gets to see it in person before it's posted on social media or internet on my website. So pictures will be coming as soon as deliveries are made. We've got art back up and going with the online kids art club. So that's back. That's been back. I say like that just happened. That picked back up in January. We took, of course, Christmas break. And so now we're into the back half of the art club year. We've been working on things for some of the local, well, one local shop and one one far away shop we have our stuff featured in, so getting ready to change some things out in the local shop that features some of our items. If you're in the Mobile area, that is Knott's Salon, and it is on Hillcrest. They've got quite a few gifty items that they carry now. Not just my items, but other local vendors. So it's pretty cool that you have local businesses that work with local vendors, and each is spreading the word about the other. So your circle grows. So I find that very cool. Okay, so I've made it back around again. Let's see how we can get this to turn out this time. We're going to call this take 2. Hopefully this take 2 won't take long. All right, so I'm going to come back around here to the mask. And most of y'all know I have a turntable that I keep under, or a Lazy Susan I keep under my door hanger. Problem is right now I can only spin it so far because as I have worked on various projects, of course, the paint tends to get closer and closer and closer to my Lazy Susan. And in doing so, and what's bad is I cleaned up paint. As it gets closer to the Lazy Susan, I can't spin the Lazy Susan. So I end up partially spinning and partially just moving the door hanger around, which is frustrating at times because I really do enjoy the freedom of being able to spin my door hanger around whenever I need to get to the other side. I don't mind reaching across my door hanger, but my current setup limits me a little bit, and if I'm not careful, I end up wearing more paint than I have on my door hanger or whatever piece I'm working on at the time. So I for that reason. Okay, let's go back and get things squared away with our yellow beads, and then we'll quickly get on our green and purple beads. Oh yeah, this is looking much, much better. Or as one person put it, much more better. To which case, all the English people, as in English teachers and grammar lovers, cringed greatly. But sometimes you just got to have fun with words. Try to make things a little interesting, a little comical, a little, on the lighter side. And I know sometimes when it's a pet peeve, it's just hard to accept that lighter side. I get it. I have my things. I have my pet peeves as well. All right, so there's our yellow beads, the yellow mask. And now, as far as this goes, I'm not going to put any yellow on that. You may be thinking, what? If it's Mardi Gras, it's supposed to have yellow in it. Yes, I know. We are going to get there, though. Purple or green, purple or green, purple or green. I guess we'll go green next. All right. That may have been just a fuzz too much green. Now, let me think. You know what? I'm not gonna use that much brain power for the afternoon. I'm just gonna pull up and look. Okay, That's what I thought. And then the inside portion. Okay. Just had to get my bearings on what had to be green. So we're going to get the green going. I thought the green went next to the yellow. I tend to see it that way whenever we're... Oh, I missed one. Oh, no. Ah, really? How did I do that? I don't know. So basically, y'all are just getting all the good Sandy bloopers for today. Y'all missed the really funny ones. They were before I ever pressed go live. I moved something and 3 things fell, and then I dropped part of my equipment, and that is when your heart stops because you're like, oh great, what have I got to replace now? So yeah, all those fun bloopers are not not available. Sorry. But just know they're there. Kids in our area are out this week between President's Day and Mardi Gras holiday, and I think Teacher Work Day. I think that's what creates the week-long time off. So kids in our area are celebrating greatly today, as they do not have to set their alarm clocks or get up tomorrow. May have to get my dryer out because I don't know if I'm going to be able to go over this. Maybe so. Or maybe not. Yep, I'm going to need to get the dryer. Or I could start on, well, I hate to start on purple though, because I've got the green going. It's like, okay, let's finish the green. But the only problem is once you get 2 coats on there, it really does need to dry before you try to get a third. Because this green, even though I love this green, it's called festive green. It's my favorite during Christmas, other than the holly green. It, I don't know. It just doesn't layer like some of the other colors, and the way I like that some of the other colors layer. All right, we're moving on to purple, and I will come back. Oh, I didn't do the bottom part. It's okay. We'll get it in just a minute. We shall get it in just a minute. And I thought the design was already drawn on the bottom, but it's not. So I get to see what I can come up with here. This could be an interesting few moments when I get to that part. Ta-da, da-da-da-da. All right, we are on the home stretch. Okay, we'll have to go through all of that again, but for the most part right now, we have our beads laid out so you can see the colors starting to come together. Now, for this part, I think what I'm going to do is find a round brush. And let's see what I can do. Ah, there you are. I was like, what happened to my paper towel? There you are. Let's tuck you into there. All right, so I'm going to take my round brush, and I've got my example photo here because I want to make sure I get this as close to right as possible. So I will definitely have to do some cleanup, but if I can at least get things sketched out, that will be nice. I have to do a good bit of cleanup. Okay, so we've got one that starts here and comes up. And we've got this one here that comes in the middle. This is interesting. I don't think I have ever painted quite like this before. I've freehanded a few things, but again, not not quite like this. Okay. This might be the interesting one. Oh boy. Come down to here. And you may be thinking, well, Sandy, what happens if you mess this up? Well, I guess mess up isn't an option. I'll come back and fill that in a minute. What I am trying to do is just kind of lay out basically what I need to get this going, and then we'll come back and do some straightening. So this one will come around, and then I did that one a little thicker than the other one. We'll get it straightened out. Okay, so now that is the purple. Now let's see what we can do with the green. See if we can recreate this. Now, if you're wondering, what about the background? I may leave the background the buttermilk color and just go over it with the champagne color. All right, this copies this. And have it kind of a little bit different. And then we have to come down and up. I'm gonna go ahead and fill in the green. That way it can just start drying while I come back and clean up the purple. because there's some lines that definitely have to be straightened up. Okay, so from here, we start here, we come down, we come around, and then we come back. And that one's a little thicker than this one. Okay, now we have the sides that we have to do. Which may be a lot easier than doing the other that I did. Other than it's coming very, very close to the purple, which I did not want, but we're going to roll with it. Okay. And oh, nope, nope, nope. I've got just a little bit of green that goes here and here. Okay, I think. Whew, that was interesting. Very interesting. All right. I forgot, I actually have a gold pen, paint pen, and what I may do is use it to go around the design here instead of using the gold paint that I'm going to use on the mask. I talked about doing glitter, but I don't know. I like the idea of the gold shimmer. The glitter is not gonna, it will sparkle, but it's not gonna shimmer like the gold paint will. So I think I may do that. And then this, like I said, we've just got to do clean up and get it solid, get it evenly coated, and then we can straighten it out. Ooh, I forgot that one. I was like, what's wrong over here? What's wrong is you've got to fill it in. Oh, yes. But the gold paint pen might be really, really nice to go around and cover up the buttermilk in this one. So I think we're going to do that. Okay, real quick, I'm going to jump back onto the purple beads and get them with another coat because the purple should pretty much be done. The green is going to be the only one that I have to work on a little more. Green is always that one color, this green anyway. And like I said, I love this color green, but it's one that I have to work on to get to the level of coverage that I like. All right, there's the purple. That purple is done. Now we're going to Get the brush cleaned out again. Trying to make sure I got, still got purple in there. Okay, much better. All right, I'm going to come back around this way and do another layer of green. And it's very close. There may be a couple or, 2 or 3 that I have to kind of touch up later on, but we will handle that later on. Of course, the goal is always to complete during my live if possible, but sometimes you have to go back once it's dried really well and do a few little touch-ups on colors that maybe didn't layer quite as well because you were trying to get them completed in a set amount of time. All right, so back with the purple, see if I can get it. And I could go, well, that was real good. I just went off in the wild blue yonder there. I may do this just a little bit different. Go with the gold, but then also use black. And I think it will. The black paint pen always helps to do a cleanup when you do your outlines. It just, to me, it always straightens it up, helps it to look neat, helps to tie it together and define your colors or your design. But I do want to see about the gold and how it looks going between. Okay. Now maybe I can get the green to layer out a little better. Oh, looking pretty good. Oh, don't put in purple. Finishing up the last little bit here. And I'll have to go over the green again on this, just to make sure we get enough coats to have a smooth layer, a smooth look to it. But I want to do the gold on the mask because I know the mask is dry. So let's get the gold. And this is called Glorious Gold. So we're going to add this to, let's see, is that a small? Oh, that's too small. I don't want one that small. What's this one? Ah, this one's better. Actually, I think that's the one I've been using. Is this one I haven't been using? Whoa. Okay. Now, the thing about the gold is that it's actually sheer or see-through, and so the yellow is going to show through it. Now you may have seen some of the other uh, Mardi Gras door hangers that I've done, and I did the same thing on them. I took the gold and I put it over the yellow so that it would give it that shiny look of gold, but the yellow helps to make it a true yellow gold rather than just this gold being on top, where it would be more of a it's still a yellow gold, but it's almost like a dark yellow. So I like the brighter yellow. So I like to put it over, not under. I like to put the gold over the yellow. So it gives it a shiny look. See how it's got that metal look to it, that shiny. All right, so there's that. This has got to dry a little bit more. Did I just stick my shirt in that green? Oh, I thought I did. Which I wouldn't doubt it. I have been known. I have quite a few shirts that have been christened. Christened with paint. All right, now time to get to the words. Time to get this wrapped up. Let's see, where'd my round brush go? Nope, that's the skinny little round brush. Oh, I don't have that round brush over here. I thought I did. Well, there's that one. Oh, I don't know if that one's going to work well or not. What's this one? Is this one round? No, that one's not round. Well, that one's too skinny. That one may be the one I'm looking for. All right, we'll put you back here. Let's see. Let's see if this is the one. Because I do have some smaller letters that I'm going to have to do. And I could do this with a paint pen. It would probably speed up the process just a little bit, but I actually have been enjoying using round brushes to do lettering more over the past, well, I guess it started with a lot of the ones that I did for fall and Christmas, and I started using the round brush more for the lettering, and so I kind of got into a groove with it. And so other than when my brush decides, oh hey, let's have a bad hair day or a bad bristle day and go way outside the line so that I have to do a little cleanup with a baby wipe. Now I am purposely skipping letters. I've come out to the middle, which is where I should have started, because starting in the middle, I don't put my hand in the paint going across the middle. So I could probably do all the way over here. Let's see if I can get all the way over here done. And like I said, this would have gone much faster with a paint pen. But like I said, I've actually started enjoying using the round brush and doing lettering. That, and I can fill in the uh, etch lines much easier than using a paint pen. Even when I do use a paint pen, I have to come back and fill in the etch lines sometimes with a brush because the paint pen, for whatever reason, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't fill in. Does not fill in the little grooves. And then you have moments where I just completely go outside the line. And then I get frustrated with myself because now I have to do a cleanup. But, you know, it's all part of the process. Whew. This morning started out cool. I was wearing multiple layers. And now this afternoon, I'm sitting here sweating. Of course, part of it has to do with the light that I have turned on in front of me. And two, that I've actually got something going on the stove right now. So between the heat from the light and the heat from the stove, I am warm. And going back and forth from heater to air conditioner, I don't know. I'm like, let's get one and stick with it. I'm ready for one or the other. And where I live, a lot of times we flip flop back and forth for 2 to 3 months out of the year. You may spend the night with the heater on and all day long with the air conditioner on, which I know sounds crazy, but every region has its interesting points about it. And where I live, the weather is one of its interesting points. Yesterday and to Yeah, yesterday and today could have been flip-flop days, but not this morning. Here in a little while, it'll probably be cooled back off and I'll be looking for a jacket. So, this is why I tend to it's why you won't see me a lot of times in sweatshirts because um, I tend to do the layering thing just because of the way the temperatures fall. To me, it's just easier to add and get rid of as the day goes, rather than having to change all the way around. Because I remember those days. I'd start out with a sweatshirt, and I'm like, "Oh, this cute sweatshirt." I'd buy it, and then start the day with it, and then by lunchtime, I was going, "Oh my goodness!" And next thing you know, you're in a t-shirt. So now you've gone through two shirts in one day, and sometimes two pairs of pants. Because sometimes it would be, especially inside, it would be warm enough where indoors I'd run around in t-shirt and shorts. So started out the day in sweatpants and sweatshirt or jeans and sweatshirt, and before it was over with, I was in t-shirt and shorts. Now this one has a lot of writing. This one's not short. It's because it has a saying on it. It's not just your, "Oh, welcome friends," or "Happy Mardi Gras." This is actually One of the sayings. So it has it on the door hanger. So I'm trying to think of this week what all I have coming up, what is on my calendar. I have another two more door hangers that that I'll be completing. And then I've got some coffee mugs and let's see. What else is there? Coffee mugs. I'm trying to get ready for two workshops coming up. One will be week after next. And it's going to be, of course, I always have the art club stuff during the week because it's a weekly lesson. So I'll be working on that, but my workshops, I'll be getting ready for those. One of the workshops is kind of neat because it's a watercolor workshop, and I do watercolor with the art club, and so I use watercolor a lot in that. But this is going to be um, this kind of thing, these type items, and we'll be doing watercolor with it. So I'm excited to get a chance to do watercolor with a little bit different type of piece than the art club style that I'm used to. All right, so my bigger letters here are taking a little longer than what I had hoped. So what I'm going to do, I am going to go ahead and get my paint pens out, and I'll do touch up with my where's the skinny one? There you are. Touch up with my paint later on afterwards because I still need to get my gold pen. Where's my gold pen? Here you are. My gold pen. Try to get it shook up here for a minute. There we go. And go around my little design down here at the bottom. Okay, so just so you can see this real kind of in quicker time, because these really are fat letters, and the brush that I chose is really small. I knew it would be for these letters, but I was hoping it would go just a fuzz faster. But that's okay. We can mix it up. mix it up a little bit in order to get it to where you can see what the final product is going to look like. Now, like I said, I'll go through because I like to make sure that all the paint is got a good coat and evenly coated. And so my paint pens don't always get all the way in the grooves like I like them to be. And so a lot of times I'll go back and take a paintbrush and just get it all nice and squared away. All right, so there we are, a little more. Let's turn it this way, and we're going to get our letters. Squared away from this direction. Another thing I've noticed about the brush is that when I use the brush, of course, if I want it to be a thin line, I will hold it very lightly, have what they call a feather hold on it. And then if I want the letters to be a little bolder, I'll just push down a little bit. Well, that's a little hard to do with a paint pen. So you pretty much have your one level. Nope, that's the skinny. Nope, I didn't want the skinny. I guess I still want this one. Guess I could have left those as half notes. For those who remember your music from music lessons or band. Whole notes, half notes, quarter notes, eighth notes, 16th notes. Oh, those were always the killer. All right, one more to go. And then you can kind of get a really good idea of what it's going to look like once it's finished. And I'll do highlights and all that good stuff because I like having things highlighted. And I may even add a bow on this one. These letters could be a pretty good combination of the bigger paint pen and the smaller paint pen, just because some areas are bigger and it's taking me a little longer to get the paint pen to fill it in. Not as long as the brush, even though sometimes the brush, especially in the smaller areas, works really, really well. Like I said, you can either press down and broaden it, or keep it a feather touch and keep it light. So we're almost through with our words, and then I'm just going to go around the mask and outline it real quick. Interesting. Interesting letter Z that they put in here. It's not exactly what I would have. What I would have guessed. It kind of threw me off at first. I was like, what am I looking at? And then I was like, oh, it's a Z. Interesting. Okay. Ah, my mask. Let me go around the mask real quick. That way it will stand out and show up very nicely. And you can see as we get things wrapped up here for our live today. Around the inside. Spin that around so you can see. Ta-da! And then, of course, around our beads. And I still need to work on the green beads one more time. A few of them, not all of them. Some of them have a nice coat and they look very well. And then others just need a little touch up here and there. My paint pen is wanting to run a little bit low. Oh, there we go. That picked up nicely. Sometimes it'll lose prime a little bit and you just have to give it a little bump. Make it remember, hey, this is my job. All right, so one more to go. And there's our beads outlined. Now I'm going to grab my gold paint pen real quick And I'm going to see what this looks like. Now, this may turn out to be one of those things where I'm like, yeah, I don't like this. And I come back and I do it all by hand. But let's see what it looks like. It has a little bit different shade than the top, which I kind of like. So we're just going to kind of go through here and see how it's going to look. Because I'll also have to do a little outlining with the black on this as well. But I wanted to see what the gold looked like going around the purple and the green. Now the gold paint pen doesn't necessarily have a shimmer to it like the paint does. So that's one thing I wanted to see if I liked the look of it, or if I'd rather come back with the gold paint and go over it and have that kind of shimmery look. So this may be one of those things I have to walk away and come back to in a little while and see what I think. Sometimes we have to do that. Sometimes it's like, oh, well, I'll just throw it all away. No, don't throw it all away. Just take a break, walk away, come back later on, or maybe even tomorrow. I've had to do that before. I've had to just leave it and come back the next day and see what I thought. And a lot of times on the next day, it's like, oh, well, you know what? I could do this and that would probably turn out much better. Or, that really isn't as bad as I thought it was. So if you're working on a craft item and you're just like, nope, this is not working, don't throw it in the trash. Don't throw it in the trash. It may be that you just need to look at it with a fresh set of eyes the next day. Which is kind of what I'm going to do on this one. I think I'm going to wait maybe until later on to look and do the black outline on this. And the reason being, I want to make sure that this is the gold color that I want to go with for this one. Which the gold has kind of cleaned up my boo-boos here very nicely. I like that. So I may be going with this one. I just need to touch up the green in a few little places, and that's another reason why I'm not gonna go ahead and do the final outline in black on the bottom down here. Oh, I think my camera has slid. It's just a day of technology, let me tell you. All right, so there is the almost completed. It just needs a few touch-ups, and then I'm going to make a final decision on this gold. Tell me what you think. If you're watching the replay, and I don't know, I think it actually has a little bit of a metallic flair to it as well. I don't know which camera will show it better. Maybe there, maybe there. Oh, that looks like it does better from the upper view than what it did from the, oh, I don't know. If I get it just right, it might actually look pretty good there. You can see the mask, or I can do that and you can see the mask. All right, so if you're watching the replay, just put hashtag replay and tell me if you think I should stay with this gold for the for the backdrop, or if I should go with glitter or maybe a different gold. So just let me know in the comments. And I'm going to finish this one up as far as doing the outline after I make my decision on the gold. But actually, it is looking pretty good. I'm on, take a few moments and then come back and look at it. Actually, it'll be more than a few moments. I usually leave it for a couple of hours and then come back and look and go, oh, okay. Or like, nah, that ain't gonna work at all. So we'll see how it turns out. I'll post pictures of the completed as the week goes on. And speaking of the week, I hope you have a great week. If you are in a portion of the country that is on break for Mardi Gras, then I hope you have a great break. And if you are not in an area where they break for Mardi Gras, I hope you have a great week at work or school or whatever you may have going this week. And I will see you again next weekend or maybe throughout the week. I don't know. We're just kind of playing with some times here, and maybe even a change of day where we may get adventurous and do that as well. So we may see about doing lives at different days and different times just to see what maybe works out better for everybody. But I hope you have a great afternoon, and I will see you soon.